Hey, it's the abstractionist. I don't know. It's like I was on the fence about sharing this. Anyway, it, so I've had weird like dreams the last few days. At first I thought it was like the diabetic medication I had. Because I was like I was on a new medication. I was adjusting to it. Um, but I don't think that's it. I had me worried. I was like, oh my god. Um, yeah. I gotta like sit and think. I'm like, but yeah, like I just had these like things that come across my phone. I had like this thought last night before I went to sleep, and it was so bad. I was like, oh my god. So basically, and it was something that I was just like, I don't understand why I'm thinking about this um because like I haven't been watching anything related to this recently, and I haven't like looked into it. I haven't thought about it, so it was kind of like, why am I thinking about this anyway? So basically, I was going to sleep, getting ready, closing my eyes, and then I had this dream or had this thought because I wasn't asleep yet. Had this thought of being in Guyana, and I had this thought about being in this like very wooded, foresty like area, and I was with other people. If you can hear something in the background, it's the TV. I was with other people, and I had come to this place, and we had come to this place that was like a clearing, and I started walking, and then I just started screaming, crying, just like screaming, and everybody that was around me was looking around like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But I was just like screaming and crying and doing all this like just thrashing, and I was like, I like it was just like very like was like very much in it, and I think I was like the only one doing this. Anyway, I ended up saying some stuff about like dying or something like that. I don't remember that part because I think by then I was like kind of slowly edging into sleep. Um, but I just remember I was like very like, why am I thinking about this? And so I'm talking to somebody about this now. I was like trying to process it. Like in between like making these videos and stuff like that, like I'm talking to somebody, we do like audio message, and I was like, it was like thinking about Jim Jones. So if you don't know who Jim Jones is, I'm not talking about like the rapper or whatever, but it's like this evangelical type cult leader. He's dead. He died. I looked it up in the late 70s, and so he's very famous for taking a congregation of nearly like 1,000-ish people to Guyana, and making this settlement called Jonestown, um, in Guyana. And essentially, what happened there was that they had this like temple space, and a lot of people from different cultures and stuff like that came together. But what ultimately ended up happening was that it was a mass murder, really, to be honest, not mass suicide. Um, Essentially, there was like some sort of state representative from the US who went down there, and essentially, all hell broke loose from there. They ended up assassinating that person, and essentially, within like a day or two, like all of the people there basically were dead, minus like a few, maybe dozen, if that. Drinking suicide laced like drinks, being injected, and then like ultimately dying like very horrific deaths. The leader ended up choosing to shoot himself instead, like kind of evaded that sort of death that was very painful. I believe like cyanide is very like it's detrimental to like the vocal cords and stuff like that. I think it's like it's burning, so like it's not a good way to die. Like you're kind of like suffocating, I think. So like he opted out, which is like, but then like all these other people were dead. Anyway, I say that to say, I was like, I looked into Guyana's chart. There's a few things on there and I'm like, huh. So I don't know if Guyana is in the process of trying to like develop that land or something. It's something around the land, like land clearing. And it's not like Jamestown here, but it gives me that feeling of like this abandoned, eerie, people are still there kind of vibe. And it's a really unsettling feeling, but it's kind of strange because it's like like I don't know, I'm like, do I have like a random family member that was like that went down there and like never came back or something like that? Because surprisingly a lot of African Americans did go down there. A very large number of African Americans were part of this like congregation. I think like roughly half, if not more, which is kind of interesting and kind of gives me questions as an African American woman. But I was like telling this person that I'm talking to about this, trying to process this. I was like, well, why would I, all the way here in the USA, have that thought before I am going to sleep? Because like I'm not thinking about it. I haven't looked up. I haven't thought about it. Like I know about it, but like I haven't been actively like thinking about that. And I was like, I don't know if there is like some event that's gonna happen that kind of unsettles the dust on this like actual physical land. So like I don't know if in Guyana essentially the people are like trying to develop the land into something like, I don't know, like it feels like something is changing within the land, and like there wants to be like development there, but there's something like holding it back, and like the land needs to be, I guess this is like a video of like if you're gonna do anything down there or in the surrounding areas, because I kind of get the feeling like, now that I'm thinking about it, like the surrounding areas, like the boundary where that was and then surrounding areas, you can feel the shift when you like, if you get too close you can feel the shift. And the land down there, I don't get the land that is very angry. I get a lot of anger, but I don't get that the land itself is angry at what has happened. I get that the souls that are there are like angry and sad and frustrated, and almost like, I guess maybe like the person I'm talking to said this too, like because of the way they die, like there's a stigma attached to that, and like people probably just want to forget that these things ever happened, but it's very, like you should remember it because it helps to clear it. Like just making it like a non-existent memory doesn't help. It just seems like it just feels like something wants to be cleared up, but it also feels like there's certain private monetary interest in this land. So I don't know where that's coming from because I haven't read anything about that. And I don't know if they're gonna do like there's gonna be like some articles that come out like in the next like month or so, because the death of all of these people happened in Scorpio season. So I don't know if that's also why we're picking this up. Scorpio season, November 18th. And I mean, the anniversary of them is coming up in the next like few years. It's like the next like 4 years or so. So it will be like 50 years that this has taken place or something. I think it's 50. I think it's 50. But I was just like, I didn't understand why I had to like process that. Like that was like very weird. use this one and this one. I was going to say Pluto, very active. And this is a deck that deals with people. If you know me, you know that I use decks because I don't like transmuting energy through my own body. I'd rather it come up through the symbols of a thing. You got Two of Wands. You got the Two of Wands, Priestess, Ten of Swords. It's time. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to roll out of here. It's time to go. Like, they want to go. Then people want to go. I don't know if I don't know who this reading is for, but if you are someone whose family was involved in this, as in like you lost family members, particularly like the children, that energetically I think disrupted the line of children for the rest of the family members. Something about being very scared of having children. It's something epigenetically felt. Like, I just... Yeah, these people want to go. They want to get cleared out. Yeah, the Nine of Swords flipped over. They don't want to be there no more. For some people, they gotta actually call their ancestors or their family members back. These could be people with names that nobody talks about in the family. There could be somebody that gets named after one of these people unknowingly. So if it feels like they get called on, if it feels weird around saying that child's name or that person's name, is because they share a link with that person. Like the name. But that land wants to be cleared out. Because I think that land itself wants to thrive. Like the vegetation wants to thrive. But these individuals that lost their lives want to be recognized and acknowledged, and they don't want to be thought of as the family members and be ashamed. Because that was something that, like I was talking about with a person, they want you to like actually say their names and acknowledge that they were there, and that there's some of them that really did fight to stay alive. Like, I mean, like, really fight to stay alive. And even in the spirit realm are fighting to leave. But because they're in a physical locale, and yes, their spirits, they can move, but they are still tied there. And it's not like they can just up and leave Guyana and then just show back up where their family is, unless you do the work to start calling them back. I'm reading with zeros. Okay, this is the land itself. I always get the nature spirits from the Hermetic Tarot. This is the land itself. Got King of Pentacles at the bottom. There's money there's money around there. Got the Knight of Swords. The Moon. The Star. King of Swords. The High Priestess. And then the Sun flipped this whole goddamn deck over. The Two of Cups under that. Eight of Cups, Four of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles peeking up, Six of Cups on the other side. This may become a pilgrimage site. I don't know when, but this may become a pilgrimage site. There may be a certain politician who has, this politician seems very eccentric. And this is a deck for the land, but this politician may be very eccentric and maybe from close to where this was. Almost like in there, like almost like it's kind of weird, like they're from around those parts. It's almost like Guyana has a very psychic a very psychic like politician in their midst. He just happens to be, and it sounds like a man, happens to be a politician, but his family, like, his family know what's up. This person may be very instrumental in developing that region or finding something valuable in that region, but understands the clearing out of that region is necessary to this plan. And there's something with that's a cautionary tale, because I was reading into the details about, and you know, it's Wikipedia, and you know, it's only one side of the story, but why this leader felt very, Jim Jones I'm talking about, felt comfortable with going down there to begin with. Now I'm interested in the land, like shit, bump this politician, I don't know who that is. I don't know if they are currently in the cabinets and they are on a board that deals with this, or they will be elected. In my mind, I'm seeing like just a little boy, so I don't know if this little boy is like, little boy seems between 5 and 8. So I don't know if this politician was alive and was the age of some of those kids. This is a lot. Was the age of some of those kids that died, and that had a profound effect on them. And I don't know if they have a path of like, they ended up becoming like a doctor first, or like they ended up going into the military but doing like missionary type work, like shit like that. Maybe dealing with architectural and planning. Somewhere, it just feels like somewhere in there. They low-key may cook also. And they also, if they get involved in this, they may offer food to the land. Or something about this is agricultural or something. Like there's some sort of plan. Somebody has, I just feel like someone has a plan like for this land. And the land, it's like, yes. And the people who are there who want to leave are like, yes. Jim Jones, I don't know. Low key, he may still be there. I get the feeling that I get the feeling that, to be honest, it's like that energy is on the run. So if they develop this area, that negative energy he got gonna move somewhere else. It's gonna be like a neighboring town that floods or something like that after they develop this, like the grand opening, and like, oh my god, like this flooding. That's probably his energy. Anyway, the land. Two of Pentacles. I think the land just wants to be land. Like, I think the land wants to be land. We got the Six of Swords. I don't read by the symbols and shit like that. Why is this video so long now? The Chariot. The King of Pentacles reversed. So you're not going to get no money out of it. The Devil. The Blasted Tower. The Eight of Swords. The Hierophant, and the Emperor with the Ace of Wands underneath that, and the Nine of Swords underneath that, and then the Lovers underneath that, the Ten of Wands and the Five underneath that, and then the Magician and Four of Wands underneath that. The land wants to be I think before the plan with the land seems like they need to clear the land up first. It just seems like there's somebody trying to develop this land, and there's still stuff going on in the land, and it's like, I don't know if this politician subconsciously knows that, but he's a part of a party that's pushing forward. He has business investments like pushing forward or something. He's up for re-election. It could be a woman, but I get it since it's a man. Yeah, like, that's what it feels like. Anyway, the land wants to be the land. The land is okay with being developed, I think, long term, but not short term. Short term, this was the reverse. The Devil was up here. Eight of Swords. The Chariot. Like, I just feel like, yeah. It wants to be used. It wants to do, but it just wants to be land first. It wants to be cleared first. Give it a good like 3 to 5 years. I think the land itself it feels fertile. It feels like it can overcome a lot of stuff. Yeah, with the foolishness. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's very fertile. It can do some stuff. It could be very agricultural. Personally, I don't know if I want to eat like on the land. Ace of Cups. It's gonna have to get a good rain there too. A really good rain there. Really good water quality. That may be something. I don't know, Guyana. I don't know if they might have to watch out for their water supply. Something may happen to like fuck with their water supply for some reason. Knight of Swords, Nine of Swords. You gotta make plans for this with a real clear mind. I think the only plans that's gonna go forward is the ones with a really clear mind. Knight of Cups. You gotta be, I think whoever wants to develop this land has to be a man, not of the cloth, but a man of the veil. With the sun, the man of they gotta be a man of the veil. They gotta be able to see through the veil. They gotta be able to, they gotta be able to see through the veil. Like, so this person has to, like, this person gotta, they gotta see through the veil. They gotta, and they could possibly have been born on this date, Wheel of Fortune. They gotta see. So I don't know if Guyana's next I don't know what their leaders are called. Some are prime ministers, some are presidents. I don't know. If their next leader, if they're up for re-election, or if their next leader or something like that, like somebody's here. Somebody can see. Somebody has a vision for down there. And it made also, because I looked at pictures around there, I was like, this is nice stuff. So they may be getting a leader that changes a lot about the land down there, not just this place, the land in general. It's just not just there, the land in general. They might cause some shakeups. I would be their water supply, their ability to get energy from water sources, their ability to use water. They gotta deal with that. Yeah, seems like a strong leader. They need a strong leader, a good strong leader. All right, that was longer than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't think this was gonna turn into a reading. That's it, y'all. I'm gonna do another reading after I cook and eat some food. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.